There were 6 left. Now there will be 5 after today's program, as a U.S. junior title elimination match will take place on today's program. The magnificent Magliano will take on none other than Davey Rich.
It's going to be a great match. You know, Charlie, I watched that junior tournament probably with more interest than I do anything else, and I know that's a little biased, but I'm a junior heavyweight myself and been ranked all over the world, and you know, I'm excited to see Davey Rich is one of the greatest competitors of all time, and I think Magnificent Magliano, I believe is the way you say his name. I believe he's pretty well made a mark here, too.
We'll have some interesting comments from one Jim Cornette before the day is out.
You know, Charlie, that's an interesting thing. I was here at the studio a little bit earlier this morning, and I received a call, and, you know, they just said somebody for USA Wrestling, please pick up, and I just picked it up, and it was Jim Cornette of all people. And Jim Cornette made some very derogatory statements toward the Bullet about the mask and several things that the people in here have seen. And, you know, next week he's even gone a little bit further, a step further. He's bringing in a bounty hunter, if you will. He calls himself the Spoiler. He's 6'8", weighs 308 pounds, and Cornette told me to tell the people he has never been defeated and he has never been unmasked, and he will be the man next week right here on television to take the Bullet's mask off. And I know the Spoiler's reputation. I don't know him, but I know the reputation. He's tough.
Thank you very much, Mike. Still to come in the hour, you'll be seeing things like the $10,000 challenge. Mike getting up in the ring for our first match, $10,000 challenge. Well, is Austin Idol, will he accept that? And has the Sheik really placed that challenge to him? There's been some things said. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. The Bama Bucks and Simply Divine seem to be on a collision course here at USA Wrestling. Also, a very special presentation of a live personality profile. We'll have JYD, the Junkyard Dog, out, and we have a special presentation for JYD today, and some of his charity work he does all over the country. Recently, in fact, yesterday, visiting a boys club here in our town. A lot of action in the next hour. You stay with us. Right now, let's go to the ring for our first match of the day.
This first match, one fall with a special 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the ring to my right at 246 pounds from New Orleans, here's Tommy Stevenson. And ladies and gentlemen, needing no introduction, making his way to the ringside area, 214 pounds, Marietta, Georgia, Scott Super Kick Armstrong. Your referee, Ron Redley.
Super Kick Scott Armstrong taking on Tommy Stevenson on today's edition of USA Wrestling. Still to come, we'll have action from, as we said, the magnificent Magliano as he goes against Davey Rich, a USA Junior tournament elimination match. We'll be down to 5 after today. Also, Mr. Tennessee will be in action, as well as those Bama Bucks, Simply Divine, the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol, and the Junkyard Dog himself. Good. High drop kick puts Stevenson down to the canvas by Super Kick. Scott Armstrong still going to the air. And Stevenson trying to figure out where he is right about now. Joining me at ringside, the magnificent one, Magnificent Magliano.
You know, Chuck, I just wanted to come out here, and maybe this match will explain for me why everybody says Scott Armstrong's the favorite in this tournament. I want to watch and see exactly what he's got.
All right, collar and elbow lock up in the center of the ring. Over on those ropes, the ring official is calling for a break. We'll see how. Not a very clean break there. Stevenson takes a little.
For Charlie, he can be taken in easily. He wants to give a clean break off the rope and see what.
Good.
That was a closed fist, wasn't it? Was that not illegal?
Well,
is that an illegal move?
Well, didn't exactly see the closed fist.
Is it one here in USWA?
There we go, down. Scott Armstrong in full control over Tommy Stevenson. This is our opening match on USA Wrestling. An action-packed hour, and you're part of it because you'll be in an elimination match with Davey Rich.
You know, Chuck, I hear all these people hollering, Scott, go, Scott, go, Scott. I'm not really impressed. I've never been impressed by an Armstrong. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. As far as I'm concerned, every Armstrong, from Bob on all the way down to Brian, are cowards. You know what? They're busy hiding behind each other. If either of them, any of them, ever had enough guts to do something on their own, it'd be a miracle.
Well, I'm sure you're building a lot of friends with a statement like that, and certainly all the fans.
Brother, I'm not in this for friends. I'm in it for money. Bottom line.
I understand that. Stevenson has his man up, full body slam. Good move by Scott Armstrong as he did not relinquish that left arm. and maintains that arm bar on Tommy Stevenson. This is our opening match junior heavyweight elimination match coming up in today's program with the magnificent Magliano.
Charlie, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Scott Armstrong's rested on his family laurels for far too long. True, Bob Armstrong made a great name for the Armstrong families across the wrestling world. And his brothers, in their own right, have done some things. But Scotty sat at home and hid behind this Armstrong family name, this dynasty. And if his worst nightmares realized and these tournament finals come down to he and I, there's going to be one last Armstrong around this Alabama territory.
That's some pretty strong words, and I would think a mighty tough order to fill. There you hear it from the magnificent Magliano side headlock by Tommy Stevenson on Scott Armstrong right now as he clamps down with the pressure. Stevenson, of course, not in the junior heavyweight league. Takes his man into those rings. Good smash coming off of the ropes.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, Charlie, Scott Armstrong not only didn't deserve to be the favorite in this tournament, he doesn't even deserve to be progressed as far as he had. He's received buys on account of his father and his family name that other men more deserving didn't get. And he may not even get by this fellow right here today.
Now, Scott Armstrong begins to work on Stevenson. Good drop kick.
A series of closed fists.
And drop kick that put him down to the canvas. I might add, very good. Forearm coming off of the ropes. You, sir?
Frankly, I'm not impressed. He could never do any of these things for magnificent.
All right, that remains to be seen. Right now, it's Scott Armstrong going high upstairs to that top ring rope. Body press. Takes his man off of his feet, setting up. There it is, that super kick. That should put Tommy Stevenson away.
Like I said, sure, that super kick's a great move, but this Armstrong, just like all the others, are nothing but cowards.
Nothing but cowards. That's your final word on that. There you see in the ring, his hand raised high, is Scott Armstrong. Super kick, our winner of the first match on U.S.
Hey, Scotty! Hey, Scotty! Scott! Hey, brother, that was a tremendous match. Brother, it'd be an honor if it comes down to you and I in the finals. There's not enough I can say good about you or your family. That was a heck of a match, brother.
Enough you can say to make any fun.
I've been busy over here. What's this man saying?
What he said to you and what
I have a tremendous amount of respect for you and for your family, and I consider it an honor if these tournament finals come down to you and I. And if they do, may the best man win.
That wasn't what I heard, but, you know.
Let me say one thing. I know all these people. There are a lot of good friends in this crowd right here, a lot of good friends all over Alabama.
That's not much to be proud of.
Well, hey, let me just say this. Before I took your word, I'd dang sure take theirs.
Well, it's, that says it all. Let's take a look, if we could, at instant replay on that super kick move. There you go, flying off of that top rope. Here you see Scott Armstrong setting up for the super kick, and he seems to be winning an awful lot of matches with that very move.
You know, Charlie, I extended my hand to the man in friendship and wished him luck. He was afraid to take it. Maybe he was afraid I'd grab hold of his arm and snap it like a twig. You're going to see a real match here, supposedly in just a minute, with me and Davey Rich. But I've got the strangest feeling that for some reason Davey Rich isn't going to make it. Maybe he missed his flight or had car trouble. Or maybe he bad accidents befallen him. I just got a feeling that he's not going to be here. Take my word for it.
Magnificent Magliano will return with that junior elimination match on USA Wrestling. A lot of action still to come. You stay with us.
USA Wrestling continues after this brief pause.
I must have been distracted at the store, because when I got home, I realized the cereal I bought was a
Talking about this prestigious belt I'm holding, the winner will receive this beautiful belt. USA Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Tournament. Scott, you're still in it. You're hanging tough.
I am. I have been hanging tough. It's been a very, very tough past couple of months, you know, getting to this point in the game. And we're down to about 6 men, I believe it is, Mike.
6 right now.
And I know this afternoon, Mr. Magliano's got his hands full with another top seed in this tournament, none other than Davey Rich. And I know I've been very good friends with Davey Rich for a long, long time, and I know he can get the job done. So, Mr. Magliano, I hope you come with a packed lunch, brother, because you're going don't need it.
After the Magliano and Rich match, there'll only be 5. Let's talk to the Magnificent One and see what he had to say.
You know, Davy Rich is the least of my worries. March 15th, the Boutwell Auditorium in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. You know, there's only one thing that'd make it worth my while to come to Birmingham, and that's if I've got you, Scott Armstrong, because I'm sure that auditorium is going to be full of redneck Armstrong fans. And, hey, I understand why these people get behind you, Scott. They can relate to you. You're one of them. You're a redneck yourself. I guess they just can't appreciate somebody that's got class, style, ability, good looks, somebody that's got everything going for them. I guess that's just so far over their heads, they just don't understand. Well, that's okay, because as far as I'm concerned, all of you people in Birmingham are losers. Scotty, if it's you and I on the 15th, you're going to be able to relate to these people a little bit better, because when it's all said and done, you're going to be a loser just like them.
Scott, I'm from Birmingham myself, and I can hardly contain myself. I don't like those kind of comments.
Well, I don't appreciate him either, but, you know, it all comes down to the squared circle. He can talk the game he wants to talk and do whatever he wants to do, but when you climb through those ropes, brother, that's what it's all about. And he's talking about wanting me on March the 15th. Well, brother, I don't date you, believe me, but I will put your back to the mat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this special match, one fall, also 10-minute time limit. In the corner to my right, weighing in at 214 pounds from Springfield, Florida, would you welcome Jesse Curls? And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent making his way to ringside, needing no introduction, one of the top-ranked junior heavyweights in the world today, 225 pounds, Baltimore, Maryland. Here is the magnificent Magliano, your referee, Murray Von Redlich.
The magnificent Magliano with some pre-match comments about what happened to Davy Rich, and joined here at the desk by Mike Action Jackson. And Davy Rich is just mysteriously did not make this very important engagement, Mike, that I know you talked to him as late as last night. Is that right?
Charlie, let me say this. I talked to Davy Rich personally myself this week. This was the most important match he'd been in a long time. It was a chance for the United States Junior Championship. And I'll tell you right now, there's something wrong here. There's more than meets the eye. Joey Maggs knows too much. Magnificent One knows too much.
Well, just moments ago, before we went to that commercial break, he was making the statement out here that, hey, I don't know if he's going to have car trouble. I'd have to look back at the tape and think of what he just said, but he led me to believe a few moments ago that Davy Rich would not be competing in this match.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Charlie, and let's just put 2 and 2 together here. How would he possibly even know that? I mean, how would he know anything about Davy Rich unless he's done something? It's just there's something wrong here, Charlie. It's just a little bit suspicious to me.
I thought I saw earlier that, about an hour ago, Davy Rich's car out in the parking lot.
That's what I was told. I don't know, but I've been looking for Davy myself. I went out in the parking lot myself several times looking for him and still haven't found him.
Well, in the meantime, the magnificent Magliano in action against... Well, he keeps saying Davy Rich. Good reversal by Curls. And into that turnbuckle he goes. Whoa. Good move.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something right now. Let's don't take so much away from this Jesse Curls. Magnificent Magliano's already made his mark. Jesse Curls, a newcomer out of Springfield, Florida. Young man. Listen to the crowd. They're behind him now. That's the big turning point.
Yes, it is. Jesse Curls put the Magnificent One out on the floor.
And he's ready. The kid is ready. Jesse Curls is ready to wrestle Magnificent. He's not afraid of it.
The adrenaline now flowing for Curls. That momentum has gone his way, and now is a very important time in the match right now as Maggs tries to slow it down. This is certainly not working in the favor of
Charlie,
Jesse Curls.
you know I know about these type matches, and what he's trying to do is simply get his breath, collect his thoughts. Jesse Curls is young. He's been in the business probably just very, very short time. He's making a big mistake right there. See what I mean? Very big mistake.
Case closed on that
Never
one.
give the guy an inch.
No, not someone with the magnitude of the magnificent Magliano side headlock on Jesse Curls now. Curls...
Handful of hair.
Yeah.
Simply a handful of hair.
Curls trying to throw Magliano off in those ropes, but as Mike Jackson just brought to our attention, And when you got a handful of somebody's hair, it's hard to go anywhere.
Exactly. And, you know, Charlie, let me say this, too. One thing, I've been in a situation like this one time where I had some car trouble and didn't make a tournament, and I was eliminated. If Davy Rich, if there's not something here a little bit underhanded, Davy Rich has eliminated himself from the tournament. He's totally out of it, eliminated, and he was like in the top 6. I mean, you're talking top 6. It's gone from 20 down to 10, now to 6. I just got to believe, Davy, something's wrong here.
I think something definitely not right about this situation. Not after Magliano came out just a moment ago and made some of the comments he made. Right now, he's holding on to that side headlock on Jesse Curls. Hey, good reversal there. Into a hammerlock, I believe, as far as we can see from our vantage point. Oh, elbow.
Yeah, a little short chop to the eye, little elbow.
But very effective.
Sure did, exactly. Handful of hair to takedown. You know, the only thing I don't understand about Magliano, he is a great wrestler. He does not have to go to all these short tactics, these underhanded tactics, to defeat anybody. You know, he can wrestle. That's the name of the game, and he can do it, and he can do it well. He wouldn't be in the top 6. You know, he's defeated some guys from Mexico, one guy from Scotland, and I understand one guy from Belgium. So, you know, he's been around, and he knows what's going on.
But getting a break over there. Oh, man. Right to the side of the head goes the, yes.
Heard it from here.
Goes the fist of the magnificent Magliano.
But, Charlie, you got to figure Jesse Curls, he's a newcomer here. He's probably scared. He's a little bit nervous. It's his first time on TV, national TV ever. Magnificent Magliano's used to the big lights. He's used to the big crowds. So Jesse has just got to come at him with both guns blazing and never slow up.
Ooh, what a clothesline coming off of that rope. And he goes 1, 2, almost a 3 count.
Yep. Oh, he slapped him. Now he's degrading him. Now he's trying to make him do something really off the wall. You know, it's just ridiculous. Good move.
Good. Into a, small package, but he comes out of it in another fist that puts...
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you see how Magliano is right back on him? Jesse Curls didn't do that. Jesse Curls gave him too much breathing space. As soon as Magliano came up, he went right back to him, and he's working on him again. So see, he's giving him no rest time, no breathing time.
He is quite an interesting individual from what I've seen. And still running through my mind is where is Davy Rich and why did the magnificent Magliano say the things he did?
You like that?
What a suplex.
Beautiful suplex. And that was about tailor-made. You couldn't draw that up any better on a picture than what he just did. Straight up, vertical, had him completely up, dropped him right on his neck the whole way. Joey Magliano, I'm telling you, Joey Magliano is no stranger to this ring. I'm telling you.
No, indeed, he is not. Whoa.
Beautiful flying forearm. I believe it was a guy like Manny Fernandez that made a living doing that kind of stuff, knocking guys out with flying forearms. You know, boy, I'm really looking forward to it. There's a lot of things on this program today, Charlie. Magnificent moment, he said.
Ooh, that is it.
I've never seen anybody get up from that.
It is over. A magnificent moment takes the fall, and the match goes to the magnificent Magliano on this edition of USA Wrestling. And as we were saying moments ago, down to number 5, well, we'll have to check all that out, if you don't mind.
About that till we find out what happened to Davey. He may not be right about that down to 5, but if Davey just didn't show or something, it is to 5, and he's one of the top 5 finalists.
We've got several more matches to come. Stay with us right now. Let's go back and take a look at what happened on last week's edition of USA Wrestling when the former WWF World Heavyweight Champion, the Iron Sheik, met his first challenge for the $10,000 and the swinging of the clubs. Let's take a look at that right now.
All right, David, your time. Do as many as you can. He'll have to double it, David, if you can do it. David's got him up.
Take you down.
And now I'll show you one more time the corruption. And I'll ask you people to silence who is the real champion.
The Iron Sheik will represent one more time the Iranian nation. We'll do them one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 75-pound Persian clubs.
Well, the first one here also did get... There you see the one and only Iron Sheik, and no $10,000 changing of hands on that one. We'll be talking a little bit more about the Iron Sheik and the $10,000 challenge. Right now, let's get back to action. Let's go to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this special event, one fall, 10-minute time limit. In the ring to my right from Black Earth, Wisconsin at 240 pounds, here is J.D. Stryker. And ladies and gentlemen, the number one box office attraction in wrestling today, 242 pounds, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here's the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol, your referee.
For the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol, as he steps into the ring with J.D. Stryker on this edition of USA Wrestling. Mr. Tennessee will be in action a little later on, as will those exciting Bama Bucks, Simply Divine, and more. A very special personality profile with the Junkyard Dog upcoming on this edition of USA Wrestling. You stay with us. We're ready for action in this one. And I'd still like to know, and hopefully Mike Jackson will do a little investigation at this particular point. Bell sounds, we're ready for action on why we did not see Davey Rich in that junior heavyweight elimination match with the magnificent Magliano tie up, and Idol simply throws his man down to the canvas. Stryker complaining the hair was pulled, but from our vantage point, we did not see that. I'd like to remind you that USA Wrestling is taped on a weekly basis every Saturday afternoon in Dothan, Alabama at the studios of Channel 18, WDHN. It's located on Highway 52 East, about 4 miles from the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. So no matter where you're watching and what state and what area you're in, if you're in the Dothan, Alabama area any Saturday, or for the folks around the Dothan area, you're always invited out to join us for the taping of USA Wrestling at 1:30 on Saturday afternoons at the TV18 studio. No admission charge, first come, first serve in seating. Right now it's Idol taking, whoa, what a chop out of that armbar, puts Stryker down to the canvas, and he is just raking that boot across the side of the head. Obviously, Mr. J.D. Stryker has flared the temper of one Austin Idol raking across the eyes. Now it's Stryker firing back with a series of rights to the back of the neck. And they are seemingly effective against the Universal Heartthrob. Austin Idol takes his man into the turnbuckle, follow up, but whoa! There's a waiting fist. That'll slow the man down some. Takes his man up, full body slam. Idol now going up to that second ring rope. Stryker, whoa! Catches that elbow into the upper chest area. What are we going for here? He's asking the crowd at Las Vegas leg lock upcoming. Here it is. Locking it in. Clamping down with the pressure. That should do it. I have seen that move used time and time again by Austin Idol. And seldom, unless a man is under the rope, do you see him escape from the Las Vegas leg lock. It's good enough to win the match against J.D. Stryker on this edition of USA Wrestling. Still to come, personality profile with a Junkyard Dog. We'll try to get some comments from the Bullet today. Mr. Tennessee will be in action. Those exciting Bama Bucks, Simply Divine, who have taken the area by storm in the tag team division. And the Heartthrob wins another on television.
Listen to him yell out there.
Let me ask you this. Something to yell about would be $10,000, Austin. I want to know, are you going to accept what appears to be a challenge from the Iron Sheik with the clubs?
Well, I tell you, Charlie, that's a great question. I don't know if my answer is very great, but, you know, last week I was out here and I saw that $10,000 demonstration the Sheik made. It was impressive, but, you know, when he came to the desk and he challenged me, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't pay a lot of attention. But he made a statement that kind of made my blood boil. He made a statement. I don't mind him calling me a coward. He's not going to psych me out. But the Sheik came out here last week and called all the American fighter pilots who were out there in the Persian Gulf, a lot of them risking their lives and a lot of them losing their lives to protect people like me and all these good people here. And he called them cowards. Now, he can call me a coward and maybe get away with it. But when he says that about our American pilots, the ones defending us, that's a little bit of a different story. I don't know if I can do this club deal, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm seriously, very seriously considering taking that $10,000 challenge. I'll keep you updated, Charlie.
Thank you very much. The Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol. A lot of action still to come on USA Wrestling. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
There's more tough ringside action coming up on USA Wrestling. So stay right there.
These brands are good for you, but...
Birmingham, Alabama, the Battle of Boutwell. Mike Jackson with you, telling you about the extravaganza coming your way March the 15th, 7:30 p.m. starting time. One of the hottest things going today.
Baby, I feel so good, Michael. I'm going to tell you why. Because, you see, when Oprah Winfrey was getting Michael Jackson to talk, the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol was helping the blind see and the cripple walk. Because, you see, Michael, miracles do happen. Oh, yes, they happen. They happen in Birmingham. They happen in Bangkok. They happen all around the world, y'all. And there's going to one happen right here in Birmingham. And don't let anybody tell you you can't be part of it. Don't you dare let anybody tell you that you can't get excited, that you can't have a hunger for it, that you can't thirst for it, that you don't want it. Because, you see, over in Birmingham, my kind of people, Mike.
Yes, sir.
My kind of folks. The black ones, the white ones, the yellow ones, the big ones, the tall ones, the skinny ones, the fat ones, the young ones, and the old ones. It don't make no difference. They're all part of the Idol family. And I don't even know who I'm wrestling. I don't know what I'm wrestling. Of course it doesn't matter. All I know is that I'm psyched up. I'm hyped up. I'm pumped up. I'm revved up. And it doesn't make any difference because when I hit that Boutwell, the Battle of Boutwell, whoever that person may be, as unlucky, as unfortunate as that person may be, the women's pet and the men's regret is going to snort them up one nostril and blow them out the other. The blonde-headed bandit from a foreign planet. So pretty, so rich, so sexy, so mean. My opponent will not be able to stand it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this television match, one fall, also 10-minute time limit. In the ring to my right, weighing in at 228 pounds from Dothan, Alabama, would you welcome David Clement? And ladies and gentlemen, making his way to ringside at 238 pounds from the great state of Tennessee, here is Jim Cornette's main man, Mr. Tennessee, your referee, Murray Von Redlich.
Well, here we have Mr. Tennessee in action on this edition of USA Wrestling, and a gentleman who is certainly no stranger to anywhere in the United States. My good friend, the Bullet, has joined me at ringside, and hey, the pressure's still on with you.
That's exactly right. You know, Miss Cornette's turning loose a lot of money. Not only now I hear that Mr. Tennessee is here, next week he said he was sending a spoiler down because I signed an open contract. I see Spoiler's name on it, one of the biggest masked men of all time. So next week I'll have my hands full. I just came out here to scout Mr. Tennessee just a little bit. He's always watching me, jumping me from behind. I'm going to show him how it feels to have somebody looking down your back for a while.
Can I ask you this question? Has the events of the last, say, 5 weeks here at USA Wrestling changed your way of driving down the road and getting out of the car? You're kind of a little suspicious of anything now.
Exactly right, brother. I always look and listen before I step out or go into any store because Cornette is hot. You know, I did slap his face. I made that mistake. What I need to do is slap the other side of his face and even his jaws up.
You know, someone with the, obviously, the funds that Cornette has, once you make him mad, it's hard to get It's hard to get off that list.
And the bad thing is, Charlie, he doesn't do it himself. He hires somebody. I always hated somebody like that. If you want a job done right, do it yourself. Why don't he come down here in USA from up there in Smoky Mountain and get the job done himself instead of sending Mr. Tennessee down here lining his pockets with a heavy bankroll and saying, get that mask and I'll give you a fortune.
Well, if there you go. Mr. Tennessee, whoa, what a lick to the back of his opponent in this match on USA Wrestling. Glad you could join us. A good clothesline coming on.
He's a tough man. There's no doubt about it. You know, Charlie, as of yet, I've never had to wrestle the guy. He's always jumping in my matches, but every time I sign a contract and ask to wrestle Mr. Tennessee, he won't sign it. So I've never met him face to face.
Well, just a moment ago, while he was saying, you want some of me. Whoa, what a knee lift by Mr. Tennessee. And I will say this. He has quite an arsenal of moves that he uses on his opponents.
No doubt about it, Charlie. You know, he's a pretty big man. He's deceivingly big. He's about 6'4" and weighs somewhere around 230 to 50 pounds. So he's a big man. He's capable of doing the job. And with the spoiler coming here next week, I'm going to have some eyes in the back of my head and some help, too.
Well, there you have.
There you, Charlie. He just better take care of that man in the ring instead of worrying about me out here. But now he knows how it feels to have somebody looking at him from behind.
There, that's good little reverse psychology, I would say. Whoa! This man is... Ooh, what a move.
Boy, he's got 1,000 holes, hasn't he?
Here we go, setting up for what appears to be the pile driver.
I think he calls that the Tennessee Jam or something.
Tennessee Jam is it. Head first into that. Oh, it is over. Your winner of the match is Mr. Tennessee with the Tennessee Jam.
Well, that is a devastating move.
Wait a minute, he just threw the referee out of the way, and surely he's not going to. Again, no. Wait just a minute. The bullet hits the ring and relinquishes. Mr. Tennessee now goes out on the floor. The bullet standing tall in the ring. And it's one Tennessee Jam. It looked like he was going for another, but the bullet broke it up.
Let me tell you, every week, let me tell you, bullet, come next week, I'm going to have the original spoiler. He's going to be here. That mask is coming out.
Well, that remains to be seen, and I'm sure we'll see next week on USA Wrestling. Still in the ring, the bullet is with, if we could get back up there, the bullet is working with Mr. Tennessee's opponent and checking him over real good. I tell you what, right now, if we could, you know, in professional sports or any celebrity, their schedule is just beyond what anyone could imagine as far as time they have for themselves. And for a professional athlete or a celebrity to take the time to do good for others, it really does not only my heart good, but a lot of folks who enjoy seeing this type of thing. You've seen this guy in the wrestling ring. You may have seen him play for the Green Bay Packers. You may have seen him play for the Houston Oilers. Or then again, you might have been at a local boys club, and you'll see him play there. We're talking about the Junkyard Dog. Jerry, if we could, let's take a look at the Junkyard Dog in action, not in the ring, but at a boys club, and see what he has to do.
We've got about 45 kids here, members of this boys club. We want to welcome you, and we're going to turn this mic over to you, okay? Yes, sir. You do your thing and enjoy being our guest, okay? Thank you. All right.
Thanks to the boys. A lot of times, the first thing people start talking about to the kids on these days is drugs, but I'm going to leave that out. We don't want to talk about that, do we? The main thing we need to talk about from the beginning, I came up from a real small town in North Carolina, which is Wadesboro, North Carolina, with a population of about 2,300. Everybody always talk about you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Never said what you can't do. But first of all, I think our main problem now, not only with our small kids, but with the adults too. When I started up, my parents brought us up in the church. The church plays a big role in our society today. If you learn to read that Bible and learn what the first step is, given things to the community, that we have communities have given things to.
Great moment in the career of the Junkyard Dog, and I don't know what to say.
Paramedics are looking at him now, Charlie, and I really can't give you any news on him.
Jerry, upstairs, if we can, let's go back on the tape if we could and take a look at, here's Boris Zukov. The Russian warhead has stormed the ring and is going... Zukov just stomping away at the Junkyard Dog, and, you know, Austin, this is just so uncalled for.
Well, you know, I've seen a lot of things in wrestling, and you know, when you get an injury, I mean, that's just the way it goes. It's like in anything in football or... Wait a minute, no! But, you know, I mean, this was kids-related. I mean, this is related to the kids, you know, and you can see that pile drivers on the cement floor. I mean, there's no give there, Charlie, and I guess maybe to add the insult to injury where he breaks the trophy, and I've got some remnants of it here in my hand now here at the desk. To me, you know, when he breaks the trophy, he's not just breaking something that's given to the dog, but breaking the hearts of a lot of kids. I think it's pretty...
We'll keep you updated, that's for sure, on the extent of the injuries to the Junkyard Dog. And I tell you what, it's just... I'm at a loss of words as to what can be said about a situation like this taking place on today's program. Right now, Jerry, if we could, we've got a lot of things happening around USA Wrestling. This situation, of course, takes priority as far as we're concerned. Also, a few other things that happened today, that the mysterious non-arrival of Davey Rich to the studio for a championship event as far as the tournament thing is concerned. Right now, before we, I want to ask you a couple other things. Before we do that, if you're interested in having USA Wrestling as a fundraiser in your area, hey, watch this piece of videotape with some highlights of last week's action. You'll see a number on where to call to have USA Wrestling in your area. Update you next week on the Junkyard Dog. The spoiler into Unmasked the Bullet, we'll see about that. And will Austin Idol accept that challenge? And when will the collision between Simply Divine and, of course, the Bama Bucks take place? Join us next week on USA Wrestling.
You've been watching USA Wrestling. Be sure to join us again next week for more ringside action on USA